Hello everyone. This is the pre-market report video for today, 2nd July 2025 for the Indian stock market in terms of Nifty and Bank Nifty. First, quickly let's discuss what happened yesterday. Last Friday, US market closed positive, but however, there was some nervousness in the global momentum since Trump suspended the trade related talk with Canada and he cited Canada's digital service tag on US tech firm as the reason. That yesterday, during Indian market trading time, Canada did the U-turn, they dropped the digital service tax, which in turn increased the global trade optimism. So that's the first global momentum positive. Second, because of the solar energy business push in Reliance Industries, Nuvama raised their share target price to 1,801 rupees per share, which in turn pushed the Reliance Industries share price to increase around 2%. However, if you see Nifty wise, the profit booking on other big stocks made it to close flat. Sector wise, FMCG, media and IT decreased between 0.4 to 1.3%, whereas PSU Bank was up by 0.7%, consumer durables and defense increased around 0.5%. Overall, the advanced return ratio was closer to 1, exactly 8:9. So, roughly same number of stocks increased and decreased. Institution wise, in the cash market, FII returning to their selling spree. Yesterday, they net sold for near 2000 crore rupees and DI net bought for 800 crore rupees. And if you see the participant wise open interest, first in the index future, there was no major change. If required, please pause and have a look. However, in the option market, proprietary traders closed 7% open interest of their long call options. Hence, their stance from net 2.6%, it dropped to net 1.9% of their open interest on the bullish side. Similarly, retail traders also turned to net 1.1% open interest on the bullish side from net 1.4% on the bearish side. So now the only participant expecting the market to go down is FII as they are having net 2.6% open interest on the bearish position. So those were the things happened on the yesterday's Indian market. Then coming to US market, last night Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill amendment voting was conducted in the US Senate and the result came as 50 voted in favor and 50 voted against. So because of this tie, which then led to the Vice President J.D. Vance to vote, which obviously he voted in favor. So US Senate passed the Trump's bill with 51 to 50 margin. Now the bill had been sent to House of Representatives for approval. Then it will be brought to US President for signing it up, which all market considered that as positive. However, in the interview with the reporters in the White House, US President Trump said that he is not going to extend the July 9th trade deal deadline and he thinks that he is having high doubt regarding the trade deal agreement with Japan, which in turn created some negative momentum and also profit booking trimmed some of the US stocks again. In addition to this, yesterday at the European Central Bank, Fed chairman delivered his keynote speech. In that he said they might have cut the interest rate if not the tariff uncertainty kind of. So he wants clarity in the tariff side for the further rate cut as it, which obviously now increasing the tension with Trump. Hence, it was a very eventful day last night. As a result, Dow Jones alone closed positive of 0.91%, S&P 500 decreased marginally by 0.11% and Nasdaq was down by 0.82%. In case of VIX, it haven't changed much, still closer to 17. Regarding oil, there was a demand increase related positive rumor yesterday and OPEC Plus meeting regarding the production output increase is scheduled on the coming weekend. So oil price increased marginally. Currently, WTI crude closed at around 65.5 US dollars per barrel and Brent crude is at around 67.2 US dollars per barrel. Turning to Indian ADR, ICICI Bank ADR closed very marginal negative and HDFC Bank ADR closed absolute flat. Hence, if we calculate the arbitrage, both the banking stocks indicating some positive bias. On the other hand, in US, in the Trump's Big Beautiful Bill, US Senate removed the new proposed AA regulation. As a result, both IT stocks ADR increased around 1.5 to 2%, and the arbitrage also indicating that positivity. So clearly, both banks and IT looks fresh positive. Regarding the gift nifty, early morning today it dropped some and traded at 25,677. Equating that with our spot market, it's indicating that potential flat to positive 30 points gap up opening for now. As a summary, global momentum is mixed since it is positive for Trump bill passing in the Senate but negative regarding the trade deal problem with Japan. However, on the positive side, there's no new AA regulation in US, and yesterday both Trump and the US Secretary Scott Bessent, both of them said that they are very close in completing the trade deal with India. Because of those reasons, Indian ADR and GIFT Nifty is indicating the positive opening. However, the question is, will it sustain and close above 25,600? Only time has to say. Here, as per Money Control website and based on some sources, it seems Indian government sent subject matter expert to US for drafting the final trade deal closure agreement. So please look out for any potential development. One more thing, yesterday some auto stocks released their June month sales data and we could expect some more to release today, hence all those stocks will be on focus. And in addition, some major banks like HDFC and ICICI Bank might release their Q1 2026 quarterly business update. I don't know the exact date, but that could also potentially alter the price action. So please look out for this as well. Moving on to stock-wise open interest. IAFL, KFin Tech, Mankind Pharma, NMDC, Oracle FinServ, Dixon Tech and IREDA are some of the 91 stocks that got an increase in open interest with a negative close indicating the short build-up. On the other hand, Amber Industries, CG Power, Biocon, MCX, BEL and DMart are some of the 63 stocks that got an increase in open interest with a positive price close, which indicates the long build-up. About the things to look out, in the afternoon at 2:30 pm, Eurozone unemployment rate, and at 3 pm, Germany's 10-year bond auction is due to release, and in the night for US, ADP non-farm private payroll data and crude oil inventory are some of the key macros we need to watch out today. Coming technical, Nifty opened positive 30 points and it moved closer to 25,600 level. However, it couldn't able to maintain due to profit booking and closed near flat. Thus, on the daily chart, Nifty formed a small bearish candlestick pattern with minor upper and lower shadow. So, technically, the stance to some extent is still the same. This small negative doji-like candle is showing signs of buyer's exhaustion, indicating that the current sideways movement and consolidation might continue for the short term. However, technical indicators like RSI and MACD are still showing some positive signs. Hence, 25,400 to 25,300 zone is the strong support zone. And on the other hand, 25,700 to 25,800 is the immediate resistance. Then for Bank Nifty, it opened 50 points gap up. Then in the morning session, it had the consolidation. But then in the afternoon, it recovered, moved closer to 57,500 mark. Thus on the daily chart, Bank Nifty formed bullish candle with a long lower shadow. Here, Bank Nifty outperformed Nifty for the second consecutive session and it's hovering near its all-time high value. So we could expect 57,200 to 57,100 zone act as the key support and the immediate resistance is at 57,800 followed by 58,200 for the short term. On the weekly options front, the maximum call option open was at 26,000 strike followed by 25,600 and 25,700 with maximum new call option writing at 26,000 strike and then 25,600 and 26,150. Whereas on the put side, the maximum open was at 25,500 strike followed by 25,000 and 25,400 with maximum new put option writing at 25,500 strike and then 25,400 and 24,800. Thus, from this options data, it's suggesting strong resistance at 25,700 to 25,800 levels and strong support at 25,400 to 25,300 level. So that's all in this video. Hope you all got some useful information. Please consider subscribing the channel and liking the video so that it will help me beat the YouTube algorithm and also motivate me to do more. Please don't make any investment based on this, as I'm not a SEBI registered advisor. I'm doing this for me and viewers educational purpose only. Thanks for watching.